You know the exact feeling. It's Sunday night, and you're hunched over your laptop, desperately stitching together spreadsheets, CRM reports, and, let's be honest, a whole lot of gut feelings. And then, you still get hit with a massive, late-quarter surprise. You are absolutely not alone in this. It really begs the question, why on earth does sales forecasting still eat up hours and hours of leadership time every single week, yet these painful surprises just keep happening? The harsh reality is that for a lot of teams, deals are still slipping at the very last minute, committed numbers just vanish without warning, and the actual data you need is scattered across a dozen different platforms.
Instead of actually coaching their teams or driving high-level strategy, leaders are stuck doing, well, spreadsheet hygiene. They're burning precious cycles, chasing down close dates, fixing deal amounts, and basically policing stage changes. And look, the true cost of doing nothing here is massive. When your data is that fragmented and you're relying entirely on manual rollups, human optimism bias inevitably creeps in. Between the sandbagging, the totally inconsistent qualification criteria, and all those misbuying signals, you are looking at a direct, literal threat to both your revenue and your profit margins.
So, welcome to today's explainer on AI sales forecasting. Today, we're unpacking a massive technological shift that is fundamentally rewiring business processes and supercharging operational efficiency. We are finally leaving behind that old world where a forecast is just a static, backward-looking snapshot in a spreadsheet. Instead, we're stepping into an era where your pipeline functions as a live, self-correcting operating system powered entirely by artificial intelligence.
Here's our roadmap for the explainer today. 1. The sales forecasting trap. 2. The rise of agentic AI. 3. How adaptive pipelines work. 4. Real-world business impact. And finally, 5. Scaling your AI workforce.
All right, let's dive right into part 1, the sales forecasting trap.
Okay, so think about the old way of doing things. It relies heavily on CRM data lag. Forecasts basically only reflect manual updates, which means they completely miss all those subtle behavioral shifts happening between reporting cycles. It's built on this really limited equation of probability multiplied by deal size, completely ignoring crucial variables like buyer sentiment or your actual delivery readiness. But the new way? It completely flips the script. It uses continuous updates, pulling marketing, finance, and operational data into one unified space to generate real-time explainable predictions. Honestly, it's like the difference between driving by staring into your rearview mirror versus having a high-definition GPS actively guiding you forward.
Moving right along to part 2, the rise of agentic AI.
Now here is the absolute game changer. We're talking about agentic AI. And the most important thing to grasp here is that it doesn't just passively sit there collecting data. It is a fully autonomous system. It actively senses changes in your CRM and ERP data, spots pipeline risks way before human eyes ever could, and churns out real-time predictions. And here's the best part. These predictions are entirely explainable. The AI isn't just throwing a random number at you. It's telling you exactly why a deal is at risk. Maybe it's flagging a sudden drop in email responsiveness or a lack of executive engagement. It is actively shaping pipeline behavior, not just taking a wild guess at it.
Which brings us to Section 3, how adaptive pipelines work.
So how exactly does this engine run? It basically boils down to a really simple, memorable triad: ingest, apply, execute. First, the system ingests unified data, so it's pulling live streams from your CRM, marketing automation, calendar metadata, and ERP systems. Second, it applies advanced machine learning to pinpoint those really subtle engagement patterns. It's analyzing decision velocity, pricing elasticity, and buyer sentiment. Finally, it executes action. And this is the agentic magic right here. The AI is literally nudging your sales reps with the next best actions or instantly flagging systemic risks for leadership to review.
And under the hood, the tech making this possible is genuinely fascinating. It's a hybrid design. We aren't just relying on one single algorithm to guess your revenue. Systems like Microsoft Dynamics 365 Sales are actually combining statistical models, like ARIMA, which is brilliant for capturing short-term trends and temporal dependencies, with deep learning models like LSTM. And LSTM is incredibly powerful at picking up on long-term, nonlinear patterns. These models feed into a central decision engine to give you a highly accurate, continuous forecast. It's the whole shebang.
Okay, Section 4, Real-World Business Impact. Let's talk numbers.
The paradigm at the executive level has shifted in a massive way. According to recent insights from Boston Consulting Group, a staggering 88% of CFOs now view AI as either essential or highly important in their finance priorities. Even wilder, 96% expect it to have a completely transformative impact over the next 5 years. AI has officially graduated from being a cute productivity tool to an absolute strategic imperative for financial planning.
Let's put this into perspective with a real-world example. Take a global manufacturer called Teknova. Before integrating AI into their Dynamics 365 sales environment, they were really struggling with a baseline forecast accuracy of just 68%. This manual guesswork was absolutely killing their inventory management. But after they flipped the switch on AI-driven forecasting, that accuracy skyrocketed to 89%. That is a massive 21% jump, fundamentally transforming how they allocate resources and predict revenue.
But wait, it's not just about hitting the right number, it's about speed. Thanks to automated data ingestion and real-time model updates, Teknova took their forecast cycle time from a grueling 10 days down to less than 3 days. And on top of that, they saw a 14% increase in deal closure rates. Why? Because the AI was actively prioritizing the highest probability leads for their reps in real time. Literally, the definition of operational efficiency.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, Scaling Your AI Workforce.
So, looking at the big picture of business processes, the ultimate goal here is to transform your finance, sales, and operations into an always-on agentic ecosystem. Think of it like this. Human leaders own the strategic judgment and handle the complex, out-of-the-box exceptions. Meanwhile, the AI agents handle the heavy lifting, the data gathering, the pattern recognition, and the continuous execution. It completely bridges the gap between departments, so everyone is finally working from one unified, real-time version of the truth.
To actually build that ecosystem, there are 3 massive, high-impact plays you can make. First up, deal health prediction. The AI is continuously scoring buyer intent and flagging stalled deals so you can intervene early. Second, margin-aware forecasting. By hooking your CRM directly to your ERP pricing data, the AI can model exactly how a seemingly harmless 2% discount will impact your quarterly profit margins before you even approve it. And third, capacity-aligned forecasting. This is huge for manufacturing or services. The AI ties your opportunity volume directly to your actual production capacity, which guarantees you never overcommit and wreck your delivery timelines.
Which brings us to a final and honestly pretty critical question for you to chew on. Is your current pipeline merely a static reporting tool that just tells you what happened yesterday? Or is it an intelligent, self-correcting strategy that is actively shaping your future? As we've seen throughout this explainer, tapping into agentic AI doesn't just protect your margins, it drives real growth. Thanks for hanging out with me today. My challenge to you this week? Take a hard look at your own forecasting processes and ask yourself, where could AI start doing the heavy lifting for us right now?